should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, day.
We are back. Hi guys, welcome to TMW Online. I am Linda. That is Abby. We are covering the new season 5 of 90 Day to Single Life. And I have to tell you guys, I don't know if they went back to the blueprint. I don't know if they have new producers, but these new seasons are back to why we actually started watching 90 Day Fiancé. They are entertaining. They are full of drama and not like just feeling like it's manufactured drama, actual drama, shocking moments. I was like, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yes. This is the first time that I've actually watched a whole Single Life episode. Usually it's just clips for me. So this one is actually holding my attention.
Listen, so we're behind, but we catch up. But this episode 1, The Art of the Love Bomb, Abby, listen, a lot went on. So let's just get into it. So first person up on the Single Life is Sophie. We know that she was married to Rob. She's 26, from London, lives in Texas, 3 years married to Rob, didn't work out. They're allegedly, and that's my word, in the process of getting a divorce. So in the meantime, because it's been so tumultuous, she decides that she wants to go on a girls' trip. I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So she becomes friends with Liz, and we know Liz is the second person that's part of this Single Life. And Liz and dare I say, Ed. Ugh. So Liz is on this trip as well. And then I liked, Abby, how they threw in Julia. I looked over and said, what have I missed? What have I missed? I know I normally I'll have all the tea, but I've been busy. So I was like, what? But no, lo and behold, Julia is still married. Brandon and her are still together, going strong, but she does have a little secret that she's going to share with all of us shortly. So those are the three. They've all connected. Liz and Sophie didn't get along, and I think this is a very important point to make. They didn't get along when they first met. They didn't like each other. But next get. So these three are now the Three Musketeers. Do remember that Liz and each other when they very first. Okay, so Liz, they're kicking it.
It is what she to justify going for either
right
with the hair that you want.
No,
I don't like.
She's an alpha like, in her career. You guys, I mean, okay. Javier lives with two roommates. They're both women. He used to date one of them, and he cheated on that girl, and so she dumped him. But he still lives with her. And I want to tell you something from. I want to tell you something that this it can only be two things. If he cheated and still lives at the house, then they're still together. And she probably doesn't know that he cheated. Or, hear me out, because this happens. Okay? This happens. He is presenting as single, but he's not single. And those two roommates, one is probably his wife and one is probably his child.
Oh, I didn't even think that that's what was happening. I was like, oh, he's a liar, but I did not consider that configuration of the lie.
Men do that. Men are lies. Okay?
This man is calling his child his roommate. Men.
How about you're calling your wife your roommate? I have a roommate. No, well, that's your wife. So women, you actually have to ask the questions. Oh, is that your roommate? Like your roommate? Like, where do you know that person from? Are you married to that person? Are you in a, like, you have to ask those questions because they will freely misguide you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kimberly's not interested in dating Javier any longer. And I agree with her. Red flags. He's 50 plus with two quote unquote roommates. Stop it. Just stop it.
You know, when I first moved up here, this guy tried to convince me that even in our age, because I was 40 when I moved here already. No, I wasn't. I was in my 30s still. Even in our age, that a lot of guys would have roommates because the cost of living here. He legitimately tried to convince me that that was normal. And here I was, a single mom who still had my own place.
Listen, because I was like, no. And what is it? No, actually, I don't care. Javier, get your life together and tell some truths, because I don't know if I really fully believe that you have two roommates. Then Jamal pops up at the house. I don't know what this, and you guys, you don't come for me. This is just, I just don't understand it. So if you want to explain it to me, I'm open to listening, but I just don't understand it. Abby and live chat, and if you're watching the replay, I really need to understand the American obsession with ranch dressing. I need to understand it because I don't understand it.
I can't help you. I'm not a ranch household, but somebody will be able to tell us because it is very popular and very common. People have like personal sized ranches that they carry around with them. Somebody will be able to comment on it.
Yeah, so he's at the house getting ranch. Kimberly's like, don't take my ranch. I was like, what is it, you guys? What is it? But I did think it was hilarious that he was grocery shopping in her fridge, because I've done that. When I was in university, you go to the house to do your laundry and to do some grocery shopping because you have only like uni money and that is it.
Not even just in university. Like, there's never been a time that I've ever gone to my mom's house without getting something from my house.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm talking about furniture, shoes, like.
That's funny. Yeah, to this day, my mom still cooks stuff, and I will bring it with me home and enjoy it and love it. So.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, that never gets old. So Kimberly's explaining that she went on this date and Jamal's looking at her sideways, doesn't really think she should be dating right now because she has a lot of other things that she should be focusing on. And that was the first time we start to see that things are tense. And you could tell because those two always had a really fun banter. And that fun banter wasn't showing up, at least in this episode. And she's like, yeah, things are really tense between us. I kept some things from him and I broke his trust. And so things are hard between them. That's as much as we got at that moment. Then we find out a little bit about what she's been up to lately. She's a spa supervisor in a hotel casino. She loves it. She has a bunch of new friends. Lily is her work friend. They're going to go on a girls' night. And side note, I don't know if you guys, I am a bag lover, I'll say. Love a great bag. And I don't know if you noticed her black and gold LV bag, but it was popping in my eyes, guys. It was popping in my eyes. Cute bag, Kimberly, cute bag. And her friend, the other thing, because you guys know that I get distracted sometimes a little bit. What did you think? This is the first time I saw one of those nose rings where it looked like, you know, when you have like sleep apnea and it like pinches your nose. That's what it looked like. I was a little distracted because I hadn't seen it. Not that it's not like super unique and original. I just have not seen one that like connected like that. What were your thoughts on that?
I've only seen it a few times, not in real life, just like as I've been on TikTok, I've seen it. It just like those kind of things just always scare me because I worry like I'm clumsy. What if I fall and that catches on something? You know, like, and it just like, that's what I think about when I see stuff like that, the ways that I could injure myself.
Yeah. Curious what you guys think about it. But anyways, it was totally like her vibe. I just was like, oh, wow. So they're going to go to girls' night. They don't tell Kimberly completely the extent of the girls' night. And it's a picture friend. And basically you bring your single friends, you do a pitch deck, PowerPoint presentation, and you present it to the room. Now, I just feel like her friends probably didn't do as much research as they should have done, right? Because that was a young room. So now you're presenting a 55-year-old to a room that looked like late 20s to late 30s. Like that's what it was skewing. So where would she find what she's looking for? Because she no longer wants to date younger men, right? She wants to date age appropriate for her. And that means even 44 was too young for her. So she wants to like skew like 50 plus, which I think is a good look for her. So she's not really impressed. Her face like all scrunched up because she's like, what is this? I'm not into it. And they start pitching her. She is not impressed with the pictures that they chose. The fact that they said that she just loves Jamal so much, her son's her world, and she loves her cats. And Kimberly, love you, girl, but it's going to be a no for me. Because you all know how I feel
they didn't. The cats, yeah.
And then even the questions for Kim were like forced. One girl's like, my dad lives in New York. Would you be interested in that? Like, so it was a total bust, I think. But I also think that her friends probably should have done a little bit more research to make sure that it was going to be age appropriate for Kimberly.
Right.
Well,
and if they do that again in an age appropriate room, they should include more about her personality as opposed to she loves her son, she loves cats. Like, okay, but tell us who she is as a person.
That's right.
Give us some more. Give us some insights that only friends will know.
That's right, because you are making her sound to me like a crazy helicopter /
Marm.
cat lady that just doesn't leave her house and only is just surrounded by her kid and her cats. That's what came across. So Kimberly's like, thank you so much for thinking about me. I love you guys for thinking that, but this is not working for me. And we find out that she has hookup plans with this B guy. That's her F buddy. And so she's going to go have this booty call. They previously dated pre-Usman for like 6 months. And now they're just friends with benefits. And the reason they broke up is because he wanted to have a threesome and she wasn't into it. And so they broke up. Now, they're also hooking up at hotels because B, like Javier, allegedly has roommates and they can't go to her house because Jamal comes over whenever and she's not ready to have that conversation, right? So they hook up at hotels. And okay, I don't know if I'm a hotel. Okay, I am a hotel snob. When I'm traveling, the hotel is a part of that experience for me. I'm not one of those people over only sleeping in the hotel. It can be any type of because I get grossed out easy. I want to have a nice hotel. And when they said, and I'm curious to know what you think, Abby, when they said that they hook up at these nice fancy hotels and then they popped into this room that was like a 4x4 with a big crazy white 1980s bed, I was like, maybe my definition of a nice hotel is different.
Mine is also different because that looked like a Motel 8 to me. It looked like a motel where you can just walk right up to your door from the outside. That looked like a motel where like the parking lot, you park right in front of the door to go into your room to the hotel. It looked like one of those hotels that you can like rent by like 4-hour or 8-hour blocks. So yeah.
Okay, so that was my first thing. I was like, nice what? Second thing, okay, B, Benjamin. First of all, Benjamin, I hate your nickname. B, it's reminding me of like 1984, and you look too grown to be a B that lives with your roommates. And what did you say? It's B because you're like a bee that buzzes around and you never know where you're going to land. Like, what? How old are you? First of all, how old are you? How old are you? That's what I want to know. Benjamin, how old are you? Because it was not given. The second thing that I just did not appreciate about him is that, okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being this way, but here I am. I didn't like his teeth. I thought his teeth were distracting me. I didn't like anything about it. And then when Kimberly was like, hey, I really want this to be more than just hooking up at hotels. I want to maybe explore this more. And he like gave her crickets. He was not receptive at all. Like she said, he was not picking up what she was putting down. And he didn't even, if you guys are so cool and you're friends with benefits, why would he not have a discussion with you? He didn't have a discussion with you. Then you're like, oh, you're both looking at each other awkwardly. You're like, oh, I'm going to go take a shower and then I'll give you a massage. What are you getting out of this relationship? Because I wasn't even seeing sparks fly. Like if this is going to be like this hot, heavy sparks flies friend with benefits, then where's that chemistry? Because I did not see it at all. What I saw was a little bit of a rinky-dink hotel with the rinky-dink dude who is expecting you to give him a massage in the $29.99 motel room that he rented. So like, how is this coming up from friggin' Usman? No. I don't know. The two men that you have dated or introduced us to, Javier and B, both are not self-sufficient. Both have roommates. Both are older. And so they should be planning dates for you. And if this is just friends with benefits, let it be friends with benefits, because I am truly, and you guys know that I talk about this, be sexually open with whoever you want to be open with, own your body, but own your choices, right? But this isn't it. It's not. Sloppy, I'll meet you at 2:00 after I've already done what I'm going to do for the night, and I'll pay the $29.99 for the room.
Right. The two things. One, just like you said, this is not friends with benefits. This is her waiting on him. She is still waiting on him to choose her. That's not what friends with benefits is. You've just agreed to lower yourself from what you really want just for some kind of physical connection, very temporary physical connection. Number two, maybe this is just me, But when I think of friends with benefits, I think of a fantasy. Okay. I'm not saying like being wined and dined, but that person being attractive and them appearing with like a nice smell and a nice appearance. And I'm wrapped up in this fantasy for the night or the evening, however much time we spend together. And then we part, and that's it until we come together again. Like I romanticize friends with benefits as being like a fun coming together, go apart, and then whenever you choose to come back together again. But each time, you're entering that like fantastical world of the friends with benefit relationship. And this was so disappointing to me to look at him.
Yeah. Girl, the other thing is don't go backwards. I mean, it didn't work out for a reason. Seems to me like the guy that wanted the threesome is the same guy that showed up however many years later. He's not changed one bit. He just knows that he can get some from you without any effort. And you know what? Low effort. No to low effort, guys. Kimberly, you've done low effort. You don't need low effort. We need to move on. Move on from low effort energy. That being said, she does the walk of shame home the next day because we see her, showing up in the daytime in the same clothes that she was wearing the night before. And Jamal's coming over, and under the pretense that they're building some shelf for the guest room, but really it's for the bombshell of the episode, the bombshell. Jamal's not her only son, and she has the first son named Larry that she got pregnant at 21 and was with the same person, Jamal's dad, Jamal and Larry's dad, for 7.5 years, but they never got married, right? And when she got pregnant with Larry, the dad didn't want any part of it, wanted her to not have the child, and she chose to have the child, but give the child up for adoption. Kept it a secret for 30 years. Secret. Jamal doesn't know he has a full brother, same mother, same father, didn't know his whole life. She thought she was protecting him, but Jamal said something interesting, Abby, and I actually agree with him. Larry did some DNA, ancestry, whatever it is, DNA thing online and found Kimberly. Kimberly then had to tell Jamal. And Jamal said, you would not have told me had he not found you. And I think that he might be right, because why are you telling after you've been found and not before? And at some point, like, there are so many questions I have. Like, at some point, he's an adult. Why do you not say, hey, by the way, you have this sibling in your life? Mm-hmm. And allow him to make the choice to want to get to know him or not. And at least that person is out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Abby.
Yeah. I understood Jamal's contempt, but I saw also in an episode of Pillow Talk that Jamal was saying that people don't understand why he was so upset, and he wanted to explain more of what happened. And I haven't seen it come up in Single Life, so I'm going to go ahead and say it here. When Larry found them through doing the DNA test, he actually thought that he was communicating with Jamal. Kimberly was pretending to be Jamal for several months. And only after making multiple excuses as to why they couldn't meet in person did Kimberly finally break down and tell Jamal, hey, you have a brother. He's been communicating with me, but he thinks he's been communicating with you. And that's the reason why we see Jamal being so sour at this revelation. And he was upset by the fact that people were saying he was not being kind to his mom and not being understanding to her, because we didn't get the full picture of how it was revealed to him.
That that's why he keeps talking about, if I can't trust my mom, who can I trust? Because it's not just about that now. Thank you for sharing that, Abby. It's not just about, hey, you didn't tell me I have a full-on brother, but you were impersonating me and having a whole relationship being built off of another lie. Ooh, oof.
Mm-hmm.
That just gave me goosebumps. Look, you guys, real goosebumps. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy
And that
business.
completely made sense. It like made sense to me because me and my mom did the DNA test, and the way that they give you your results back is you have to create a profile on the Ancestry website. And so I created the profiles for both me and my mom, so I can go into her profile and see any messages that people send to her. So that makes sense. They probably did it together, and then Kimberly is the one who can go into Jamal's profile and go into her profile and message like back and forth. And she probably did that on purpose because she knew there was a chance that these siblings were going to pop up when they did the DNA. And instead of telling Jamal, hey, here's something that you might find out once we do this, he hid it from her. Also, just on a funny note, I only had one person contact me when we did the Ancestry DNA thing. It was a white lady, and she was like, oh, we're cousins. We should find out like exactly how we're related. And I said, do you believe in reparations? And I never heard from her again.
You are savage. All right, so this is Larry, you guys. If you didn't see it, or you want to just a recap of it, and he absolutely has Kimberly's entire face, Larry. And then also a photo of the three of them. They went down there sometime last year and met, and down there I mean North Carolina, and met Larry in person. Now, you would think, you guys, that this was going to be enough of a bombshell. So we got Sophie dating Pedro. You already know it's going to be messy because both of them are messy individuals and full of drama, and it's going to be great. But next, you have Kimberly saying she has a full-on baby that is no longer a baby, that she hid for 30 years from her other baby. But she was not done, because before her segment ended, she is crying. She is talking about the other one. I'm like, what other one? Were they twins? Did the twins get separated? What? She has a daughter. And that is all we know so far. I don't know if it's that Larry had a twin, got separated, and they went separate adoptions, or she got pregnant. Ooh, Larry adopted. Pregnant woman, girl, adopted. And then third time's the charm, she kept Jamal. What is happening right now? What is happening? Because I don't know what's the bigger secret. Is it a bigger secret to say, hey, I was 21, got pregnant, had twins, the twins got separated, so there's a fraternal or whatever somewhere out there, Larry, that you should know about? Is that going to freak him out more? Or is it worse if it's like, oh, Larry, you're the oldest brother, and you not only have a younger brother, but you have a younger sister? Which situation is harder?
I think the second scenario is harder because then the two given away are left to wonder, why did she keep the third but didn't keep us?
Great point. I would go with the first scenario. If I had a twin out there in the world that I did not know about my whole entire life, and then I find out that I have a full-on twin, I would be freaking out. I would be freaking out.
That's also true.
I think that's freaking out, you guys.
So harsh to separate twins.
Man. I mean, I can't wait to find out who this girl is. Where is she? And why did she choose that wording specifically? Why did she say the other one?
Well, her language towards these children doesn't feel like she's truly claimed them as her own, because they're not back in her life by her choice, right? Because even when she was talking about Larry, she said, well, technically I'm a grandmother. That doesn't feel like excitement. It doesn't feel like curiosity about this grandchild. It feels like she's being put upon by having to deal with all of this.
Um, Blue Panda is spoiler alert. Hey, Blue Panda. Hey, Raydella. Looks like they're not twins, but I don't know what they are, but they're two separate babies, is what Blue Panda is saying. I'm still needing to know. I'm still freaking out. That is a lot. It's a lot to bring into family life. The other thing that I thought was interesting is that so they've invited Larry and his family, his wife and his kid, to come to San Diego to see how, you know, she grew up and how her life is in San Diego. So I think that that's going to be a very interesting thing to play out. Do you want to add anything?
I have a quick question for you and everybody in the live chat. If you are agreeing to go on a reality TV show, would it be a priority for you to take an inventory of any of your secrets or any like inconsistencies and inform your family of those things before you do that show? Would that be something that even like crosses your mind that you want to do? Because I thought about it. I did an interview for Love is Blind. And as we're like waiting to find out if you get selected, I was thinking to myself, here are some things I need to talk to my mom about before, if I ever get picked to go on a TV show, I need to call her and just be like, hey, I got some things I need to run through with you.
Listen, if I ever did a reality show, absolutely. You better crack open all the secrets that you need to tell your family, have that out first and foremost so that they are not shocked. They're not finding out when the world is finding out. And, you know, you have no control of how they produce and cut and edit that show. You might say something that comes out of context. So not only are they finding out at the same time the rest of the world is finding out, they're finding out probably not in a complimentary way. So you're going to walk away and come to the house and have full-on drama at the house that is going to be lasting forever. So yeah, for sure. To that question, go ahead and get all those secrets out and get them out immediately. Lori said she had a friend who knew he was adopted and then was under the impression he was the only child this woman ever gave up. But it turned out she'd given up 3 or 4 children for adoption. Wow. Do you want to say anything else before we move on to the next single lifer?
No, let's go on.
We're moving on to Gino. I just gotta let you know, like
She's choosing her words, y'all.
I wonder, because you know Gino's of a certain age, right? And so I don't think when he was growing up there was a lot of attention brought to the different types of individuals that are there, but he just comes like, I think that he should be tested. That's all. I think he should be tested and to see, like, he should be tested.
Okay, when you say that you want him to be tested, are you talking about like cognitive issues or like gaydar issues?
All of it. All of it. I want him to do any test that is possible. Just do all of it. And because okay, you guys. Okay. This is why. Okay, this is why. You ever be on a dance floor and you got your groove on, and you're like having a good time, and then like maybe you turn and you see someone dancing that has no rhythm, that's like flopping in the air, like and it throws your rhythm off for a bit because you're like so shocked. That's how I feel every time I see Gino. He has that nervous energy, and like even when he talks, it's like nervous energy. And it can't be because he's on TV, because he's been on TV for so long. So that's just his personality. And it makes me uncomfortable. Like when I sit and watch him, I'm uncomfortable because why are you uncomfortable? Why are you like, and then the fact that he like spills out his hate about his life, the things that he's gone through, to just any random person, like, sir, the taxi driver didn't ask you any questions whatsoever. The meat butcher did ask you any questions whatsoever. No one's asking you any questions. And why? You're not even engaging them. You're just spewing your negativity at them. And then you be like, thanks. And you walk away. It's all just it's too much for me, Abby.
Yeah, I was immediately turned off when they presented Gino to us. And then he opened his mouth and it just got worse from there. Like, I want some single young hot thing or whatever that phrase was that he used, where he specified he wanted somebody who was single and beautiful. You need to be the things that you want to attract.
Yes, Lori, same. Lori says he makes me so uncomfortable. And then the other part of it, okay, so after all the tests and the spectrums and the direction and the social disorders, yes, all that, Lori. After that, I do also like he just kind of, you guys, he kind of a little bit gives me incel behavior. Like
Big.
Just like you would prefer to be online and meet people rather than real life. Like you're not even in the generation to be thinking that way. So that's why I'm like, what did you do pre-internet? Because you're old enough to be pre-internet. And then
he told us.
No, that's what
Oh,
that wrote ads. He wrote ads for women, and he doesn't even like think about the women he wants. He wants to be like a sugar daddy, but he's got no sugar. And then he wants to bring an immigrant over because he thinks that maybe he's going to be able to like make them conform to his ways and they won't know any better. Then and he says like he likes to take pictures of himself and curate what he wants you to think he is. Can you imagine being the woman that shows up and gets this guy because he's curated? Like it's very incel-y. I'm not into it. It's like
it's very incel-y. And you know what I got from him? Big vibes. Do you remember back in the day on Craigslist? You guys, if you're innocent, you probably didn't even know this was happening. But there used to be a section on Craigslist where men would put ads for activities that they wanted to do, and they just didn't want to do the activity on their own. So if you agreed to go with them to that activity, they would pay you and pay for the activity as well. And so it would be simple things sometimes like just getting your nails done or sometimes like going to the movies. And he gives big Craigslist ad old school guy to me.
That's probably where he was putting his ads. I didn't know that was a thing. It sounds terrible.
It doesn't exist anymore, but yeah.
Sounds terrible. So he's looking for the love of his life. He's back to the gym, he says, working out, getting in shape. He wants to find a young, hot lady and a woman with a good heart. And then he talks about Jasmine, how, soon to be his ex-wife. They met 4 years ago. And he just hates her. And that's all that comes across this episode. He felt that Jasmine always beat him down. She got pregnant 2 months after separating with some random guy down the street, which is not true because she told you exactly who she wanted to have relations with. Because let's not forget your part in it, Gino. You were not being intimate with your wife whatsoever, period. And you were actually using sex as a weapon against her. So stop acting like you're the victim, because I hate that. Don't switch the narrative. We all saw the same thing. You equally played a part in that toxic relationship. So calm down. You're not the victim. And what you're not about to do is make Jasmine the villain in this story, because per all the things I just said, you have your own stuff as well. So stop that. I hate when men all of a sudden make the woman the villain when you've broken up. Like, just stop it. So Jasmine is with Matt. We already know that. Pregnant, babies. Gino wants to quote unquote live his best life. So first thing he decides he's doing is he's going to go to a singles group event that he found on quote social media, because again, he's that guy. He then says that it's been 30 He's 56. 30 years since he actually met a woman in real life and asked that person on a date. He usually just likes to meet people online or through his ads or however else, not in real life. Can you imagine? So he's extra nervous because he fears rejection in real life. So he, again, I get it. No one wants to feel rejected, but what you have to do is also feel confident in yourself, because all of that angst, people feel it. And who wants to be with that? Because even as you warm up in conversation, he never warms up, you guys. It's always just awkward. Okay, so he says, his words, not mine, you guys. He says that lately women have been finding him sexy, but he's just worried about the conversation part of it. What women? Who, Gina? Who? Show me where.
I understand that part, but like, I understand like latching onto that part of it, because who is, yeah. But I was more interested in his acknowledgement that he's unable to engage in any kind of intellectual, enlightening, curious, fun conversation.
Well, they go hand in hand. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, who is finding you sexy, but you can't hold a conversation with them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That is not how women work. That is not men visual. Okay. They can find you hot. Boom. That's good enough for them. Women, you can be hot, but you have to, something has to come out of your mouth that makes sense. You can't be a dummy and be hot, because maybe for the night, but that's not going to be sustainable. Not one woman I know is with someone that they think is not smart.
Very much true.
That's what I mean.
Very true.
So, Gino plays this kickball, meets a couple of ladies, and the first thing out of his mouth is all the miserable tea. He's telling them like just random stuff about Jasmine. Ugly, okay? Ugliness. Just ugly. They're looking at him. I'm looking at him like, who asked you this? No one cares. And you're trying to attract a new person when this is how you talk about
crazy.
Your from the jump. No, thank you. I think one of the girls says, what did she say? Something like, what's wrong with him? No, and then said, is he serious? And then turned around like he wasn't there and said, oh, did you hear that?
You guys, he's in DC in a lot of these scenes, so it's really funny to me to look in the background and try to figure out where he is. But like, he's just walking around talking to the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, anybody. These people did not ask for your story.
No one did. Literally, my note says, why is he telling a random working all his issues? The worker who's a butcher did not ask if your wife was a vegan, did not care that you were going to go and buy some meat and now you're happy that you can get meat and that you're single now and that you're going to enjoy it. Like, what? And all the work was enjoy your meat. And when I laughed, I thought that was the funniest part of his whole segment, because the double meaning of it all, that entertained me. That was the funniest part. So then Natalie, and we know who Natalie is from a previous season, but if you don't know her, Natalie, he quote unquote dated for 8 months, which I don't believe. I think Natalie's like a model, actress, something, because they do not make sense at all. I don't believe it. So they dated 8 months ago. She allegedly saw how good he was looking from working out and slid into his DMs and said, hey, you're looking good. I'm so proud of you. They continued to message each other. She allegedly invited him to DC. Now, this is the part where I was like, she's from Vegas. She lives in Vegas. You're going to try to tell me that she's quote unquote working remotely in DC. That's not what working remotely means. Like, you wherever, You can be wherever. You remotely work from a beach. You can remotely work from a coffee shop, whatever. But you don't typically say like, "Oh, I'm working remotely in DC." Like that, I don't know. I just don't believe it. I think you're filming in DC, and that's why she's in DC.
Yeah.
So she allegedly invited him out, and he's hoping that he has a chance to build a relationship with her, but he thinks that this is his one last chance. So he's packing his bag, and when I laughed, you guys, because the producers were getting out of line, and the producer would say something like, I would say this too. Is that shampoo you're packing? Why, yes, it is. He's packing shampoo. You guys, you know that little patch at the bottom of his neck that he refuses to get rid of? That looks like a dirt bunny. He uses the shampoo to clean the dirt in the back.
Oh God.
He's also saying that he no longer needs his blue pills, and then he wants to go on another Jasmine rant, but I blocked it out because I don't care. If you don't need them, you say you don't need them because Natalie is nice and blah blah blah. Good on you.
And it's a lie anyway, because you brought those pills the very first time that you went to Panama before you had any issues with Jasmine and said that you used them. So it never had anything to do with her attitude. It had to do with your sexual dysfunction, malfunction. Wait, no, what is the word for it? There's an actual
erectile.
Not sexual. Yes, that's what it's called. That's what it had to do with.
Yeah. And he has again, go get tested, because again, you're like a knotted ball of nonsense, and you have not addressed any of your issues, and you're 56 years old. And I think that if you go and get tested for all the things and actually deal with who you are as an individual, A, that nervous energy would be gone. B, any dysfunction you have would probably correct itself because you're living in your truth. Third, you would stop making all of us feel so uncomfortable, and we would stop thinking you were just a big red flag. All right.
There you have it.
Natalie
also, go ahead.
So Natalie's meeting him in DC. The other part that I thought was interesting, if she allegedly is working remotely and you guys are so like kicking it and you dated for 8 months, she's like, no, you're not coming to my Airbnb or wherever. You're meeting me at Teaism, a tea shop, and I'll see you there.
Yeah, not my hotel, not my Airbnb, but a chain restaurant that perhaps is able to provide me with some sponsorship.
That part.
Teaism is cute though, y'all. If you followed my series about going to afternoon teas, Teaism is a nice spot.
Oh, I thought of you because I thought that looks right up my alley. There's this tea bus that's out here in LA that I want to go to, and it looks amazing. I think you did the tea bus. You did the tea bus.
Go ahead and lower your expectations. If it's the same chain they have out here in DC, it's called Tea Around Town.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fun. Like, go and do it, but just lower your expectations on what kind of food you're going to get while you're on there, and then you'll be perfect.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The video sold me.
Listen, okay. I did it with my mom because she wanted to do it, and we enjoyed live entertainment. I like any kind of live entertainment. I am so excited for any people who feel confident enough to get up and sing in front of people and interact like an interactive showpiece. Yeah. So my mom loved them singing to her, so it was worth it. But as far we got off and went to go eat somewhere else.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Lori says, when it comes to Gino, his inability to be accountable for anything on his side of things drives me absolutely nuts. Same girl, same. Same girl, same. Do you want to add anything else? to Gino's?
The only thing I want to add to Gino is that, like, when you were talking about testing him earlier, I would
Mhm.
also like to explore, like, what happened in his life that caused him to have arrested development, because he clearly, like, does not operate in the mind frame of a 56-year-old man. Like, can you imagine being 56 and putting a cucumber in your bio or eggplant in your bio?
No, that's what
That's
I'm
very
saying.
immature behavior.
But that's why he needs to be tested, Abby. He needs to be tested. That, like, there's no maturity, there's no critical thinking, there's no accountability, there is no ownership for your own dysfunctions. Like, I could go on. I could go
Hmm.
on. He needs to be tested for all the things, because his inability to be comfortable in his own skin is making me unhappy in front of my own TV in my own hut, and I don't appreciate it.
It's upsetting me and my homegirls.
That part. Okay. The last person. Oh no, not last, because there's list. Should I do list first? No, I'll do list last. Pedro, 33, from Atlanta. He was the villain for the breakup between him and Chantel. So he decided he was doing low profile since his divorce. But he's now put everything behind him. He says he's ready for the next chapter, and his next chapter is Sophie, and he is serious about it. He decorated the van. So Sophie's in DR. He got a van for her and her friends to get around the island. He's decorating with roses. He thinks she's fine, like a guitar style body. This is back to what I told you. Men are very visual. He loves her legs, her arms, her booty, her blah, all the things, okay? All the things that guys say. He loves it. Goes on to say that he has strong feelings for Sophie, thinks she's quote unquote the full package. And then they do the flashback where he moved to America 9 years ago for love, he says, but then he too blames Chantel for the demise of his marriage, because he said her family caused all the drama and they were crazy. And I would just like him to refer back to his own family and his own mom and some of the things that his mom and his sister have said. So let's take equal responsibility for the crazy cray, because it came on both sides. But he says that he has learned from his divorce some lessons. He's learned that he needs to put in more time in relationships, more efforts in relationships. He needs to be more flexible. He needs to listen more. And he is now more mature. I did love those takeaways. Hopefully he's implementing them. He's getting ready to meet Sophie and her friends at the bar, and he's shaving. I thought it was interesting that his words, not mine. He's shaving upper and then lower, and he's like, "Let's go, little poppy." Those are not my words. But he wants all the things. He wants a wife. He wants a house. He wants the kids. He feels like he's 33 and he doesn't have any of that stuff yet. He wants all of that. And also, plus, he wants to get some. His words, not mine. So he's hoping by the end of this Dominican Republic trip, okay, we can't be more than a week. He wants to be in a forever relationship with Sophie. So I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to, you know how you guys, I normally just go off on a tangent. I'm going to leave that alone for a minute. I'm going to let that just simmer. But know that I have some thoughts. So when I go back to you guys and say, oh, this is what I was thinking, you will remember.
I have a little mini tangent. When he said that he had been keeping a low profile, I was kind of astonished by that because, we haven't seen him flaunting his dating everywhere, but he did come out as a very big Trump supporter. And that was like all over his IG for a very long time. That was not maintaining a low profile.
Him and his mom are big Trump supporters. Yep.
That is not low profile. And it's very interesting to me that in his support of Trump, he still chooses to date another immigrant.
Mm.
It's just interesting to me. Like, I would imagine someone in his position is in the delusion of I am American because he is a citizen now, and like that they think that they wouldn't be perceived as immigrant anymore. But then you're going to go and date someone who also is an immigrant. Just that whole psychology behind that is very interesting to me.
Mm. I'm gonna again. I'm pausing on my Pedro thoughts for now. So, because I don't want to get started, but I will say this. Lori said his words don't seem to match his actions. That's what Lori said. I'm gonna leave it there for now. So
Mm-hmm.
the van shows up, picks up the girls. Sophie is feeling freaked out, and she freaks out very easily, in my opinion, over things that I don't know if they are freaked outable. If I know that's not a word, but I don't know if they're freak outable. Like, okay, so what? He put some rose petals and a friggin' disco ball in a van. What is too much about that? But she feels overwhelmed. She feels like he's coming on too strong. They haven't seen each other in 2.5 months. Pedro's hoping that Sophie feels the same way about him that she felt the last time they were together. He sees her, she pulls up. Wow, you look good. You look stunning. But she literally just was like, when we give that side hug where the person
Little
can't put
church
their head
hug.
on you and pull you close. What did you call it?
Little church hug.
Yeah, that's what she did. And she stepped back. And it was awkward. It was kind of like, he said, like a brother hug.
Mm-hmm.
And then Julia, every girl has to have a Julia friend. Julia brings the good times. She brings the good vibes, the good energy. She looks at the positive of it all the time. Julie comes in there, first time meeting Pedro. Big hug, big laugh. She breaks all that weird tension that was happening between Sophie and Pedro. And then they go upstairs to meet Pedro's friends, Villa. I think it was Darling, Raphael, and Genesis. And they were not very welcoming. They stood there like arms crossed and just looking at her. I was like, what's with that? It's okay. Sophie's like freaking out even more. She's feeling like there's too many expectations. She thinks that Pedro told them that they're in a relationship, and now she's meeting the friends and she doesn't want to do that. She feels like she's at a job interview. So she's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, the restroom. And that vibe translated to the friends. The friends are like, we don't know about her. She doesn't have good energy. She seems cold and weird, and it's all very awkward. And it was, Abby. Like, I don't even understand why she would bring that energy in the first place. Because again, you're saying if you really like somebody and you've already spent time with them, they've bought you gifts, clearly there was a lot of, and this is not the first trip, you guys, because when this broke on social media, we posted and talked about it because they met at another place and they did like a road trip. They were holding hands. It was all very lovey-dovey. So it's confusing to me that all of a sudden you're being standoffish after you haven't seen him for 2.5 months, because you would think that if that was real, then you would be excited to see the person that you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
That's logical. She's saying that she's feeling pressured by Pedro because they're not in a relationship. She's feeling like he's acting like they're in a relationship. But isn't that the point of dating? If you are dating to just date, then you better let that other person know that. Because here's what I didn't like, Abby. Okay. Instead of having a conversation with him saying, hey, Pedro, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I just want to take it a little bit slower. I'm barely out of this relationship. I'm still trying to figure myself out and try to figure out what it is I'm looking for. Instead, okay, and I want you guys to pay attention to this, because people do this and it's very toxic. It's so toxic. Instead of doing that, she says, oh, when he's like, you know, are you divorced? She's like, oh, you know, technically I'm still married, but we're separated. Oh, but yeah, Rob just called me the other day, and you know, like we still talk, and yeah, he called me, and Pedro's like, well, are you guys like still communicating? Are you guys hooking up? She's like, yeah, we're also hooking up. And I was like, see, that's really toxic. Because now, instead of owning how you're really feeling about this situation that you've put yourself in right now, you are making the other person feel crazy for how they were feeling about you, because you don't know how to communicate like in a healthy way and put your boundaries out there. Instead, you're making the other person feel like shit and make them feel like they're crazy, because one minute you're accepting $2,000 gifts, you're lovey-dovey, you're going on trips, you're even coming on a trip to meet the person, and in the same breath you're telling that same person that you're still sleeping with your ex, and they still call you late at night and you pick up. You know how toxic that is? Do you want to add something to that, Abby?
I just wanted to say another thing that she could have done. There's so many things she could have done differently, but if I hadn't seen someone in a few months, I don't want to see you with your friends as our first meeting. I would have said, hey, can we do something together just to like recalibrate, or, you know, just see each other and be in each other's presence for a day before I meet your friends and before I bring my friends around to do something all together. That's a reasonable request, right?
100%. I wouldn't be going with my friends. I'm going to need all the time with you, because we don't get to do this on a daily basis. When it's long distance, you want to cherish your time, and yes, you want to recalibrate and get that connection and enjoy it. Maybe later in the week you meet up with the friends for a cocktail or whatever, but not in the beginning and not for the entire part of the trip. No. Pedro's not really liking this vibe, so shots, you know, when shots are involved, you guys, to each their own. You are on your own after that. But they do shots. Pedro wants to go dance. You know, again, this is the toxic part of it, because Sophie does say they're attracted to each other, but she doesn't know what she wants yet, but she's attractive. Okay. You gotta figure it out.
He never knows what she wants
At all. And it's all very like, oh, I'm freaked out. It's too much. Maybe you shouldn't be dating. Maybe you should find out who you are and what you want first before you bring someone else into that I'm figuring it out component. Because I don't think that that's fair either.
right.
Liz meets this guy, Villa. She thinks he's hot, well-groomed, smells expensive. I laughed at that because that's funny. That's something women would say. And she wants to get to know him, and they seem to like each other. They have a lot in common. They're into astrology. Shout out Liz for the fellow Gemini, by the way. Ding ding over here as well. Villa is a Libra, shows the Libra tat, find out that he has a son and his son's name on him, and she shows that she has her daughter's name on her. They bonded a little bit. She really is attracted to him. And you know what, Liz? Go ahead and have you a little Dominican Republic fling, because that, Liz, is exactly what she said she's looking for. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Liz, and we're going to just entwine this now. Liz lives in Washington, is excited about being in the DR because Washington State it's the Pacific Northwest. It rains, and it rains a lot. So there's a lot of gloomy gloom. So she's happy for, quote, the sun kisses. She acknowledges her poor record when it comes to men. She's never picked the right guy, she said. And we know that as her history with her ex-husband and the DV stuff that happened there, allegedly, with Ed and Ed's toxic, controlling behavior. And then we find out Jason, who we thought was going to be a good guy. She dated him for 4 months. He had a whole other girlfriend that had been together for a year. Whole other girlfriend. So he's out too. The thing that I forgot about again with Ed and Liz was Liz is the one that proposed to him. I didn't remember that. Did you?
I don't remember that, but I do remember being disgusted by the entire situation.
She proposed, he ended it. I never could understand because Ed always felt like he was the prize in that relationship. And I just don't know how he flipped it to that because he never was and he never will be. Anyways, he ended it 1 month before they were supposed to get married. Then we found out some health issues that Liz went through. So she had found out there was a mass in her stomach, turned out to be stage 1 ovarian cancer. And she found out through having a miscarriage with Jason. So in all of that came the realization about this mass. So I hope he just continues to recover and, thank God that she got done and sorry for her loss, but here, she's hopeful about the future and she is looking healthy. And so I hope she's happy and I hope she finds herself again and go ahead and have a little fling. I think you deserve that. Deserve it. Just have fun, enjoy yourself and continue to find out who you are.
I agree. Don't catch feelings and wrap it up. That's all, Liz. You deserve so much better than how you've been treated.
Absolutely. And what Abby and I always say, you guys, your vacay bay is vacay bay. You leave vacay bay exactly where you found him. Okay? Don't get caught up in the emotions and the fun and the lovey-dovey and the hotel fanciness and the room service and the nights out and the drinking and oh my gosh, it's so amazing. That is not real life. Okay? Vacay Bay stays on vacay. You come home to your regular life and you leave Vacay Bay in their regular life. Okay? That's it. Do you want to add anything else? Because I think I've wrapped every single lifer. There's some new girl that I keep seeing. Don't know who she is, but she's already rubbing me wrong. Because why are you always screaming? Do you not know? You don't have an inside voice? Because what I'm not about to do is have a whole season of you screaming at everyone.
No. That's everything. And I'm into it, you guys. I'm into it. I'm ready for us to go on and keep watching this one.
Same. Kimberly, 2 babies. I'm going to need to know more. I might have to just watch it now because I am that curious. All right, You guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow TMW online on Instagram and Facebook. We're building up that whole situation. So please do give it a follow. And we will see you very, very soon, sooner than you think. Bye, guys.